Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Welcome to another episode of Things We Have to Discuss, a place where we enlighten, encourage, and edify.
These are interesting times in which we're living in today. Very interesting times. As long as I've been alive, I don't think it's been like this in regards of seeing family members turn against each other the way they're turning against each other today. Rivalry within families to a magnitude where sometimes it even causes a person to lose their life or to go without speaking to their members for an extended period of time because of the rivalry that's in families today. When I was coming up, it wasn't like this, you know. We were taught, most people were taught then, when I was coming up, family, you know, stick together for the most part. And at the end of the day, that's really all you got is family. So family always resorted to being the most important thing in a person's life, especially being a man of color. And I'm sure women of color can agree as well. Family was important because you knew, in a sense, that the world was against you, simply based upon the color of your skin. And you could be completely right, in the right, but there's a racial bias because of the color of a person's skin, you know. And so families had tendencies to sticking together. You know, the world has changed. America had its first black president. And so it kind of opened the gates for blacks to kind of come out and look and say, okay, well, I can possibly have what I want. This country can probably yield me what I want because we had a black president now and he was able to accomplish the highest seat in the country, in the nation, in the world. And so I could possibly depend on the system a little better to get the things in which I want. And so blacks start to have more faith into the system itself to yield what they want in terms of whether it be success, professional success, or whatever else. They just had more faith in the system. Barack didn't do anything wrong at all. I think Barack did the best he could as president, but it had nothing to do with him. It was just the symbolic of an African American rising to the highest court of the land. And so we started to depend less on family and started to see we can grasp for something outside of our family and gaining our stability in regards to accomplishing something. But before there was a black president, we knew as black people, all we got is each other. So we have to, you know, depend on each other because this is not a fair world, not a fair country. And has that changed? No, not really. I think Barack was pretty much, you don't forget it. I mean, I'm not saying you can't be whatever you want to be. I'm just saying it took the faith away from us and having faith in God to having faith in our faith was transferred from having faith in God and family to having faith in a system. And now we have faith in a system, whether it be women having a job and feeling like she don't need a man, whether it be men depending on money, whether it be, you know, thinking you can work your way up. Back in the day, we knew it was glass ceilings, referred to as glass ceilings. Now, people are under the impression that the world can give me what I want, you know, and dependency is less on God. So now we're finding in our communities, black communities in general, that houses are turning against themselves. Family members are turning against family members. You know, we've never seen it like this. I've never seen the black family in this state, to be honest with you, so divided the way it is divided. I mean, literally, you can look at social media and see men divided against women. you know, like battle of the sexes. And still, all these hardships that our ancestors went through in regards to oppression, mistreatment, etc., those things still that happened. That was real. That really happened. That was documented. This is not some, false thing that someone made up. Just because one person made it across the line and was able to accomplish something, don't mean that the system is for us. I mean, we still have to depend on God. We still have to have our faith in God and anchor in God. And I think that the faith in God is not as prevalent as it used to be. Is why the houses are divided. Now I'm gonna read this to you. This is what Matthew 10, 21, 23 talks about. What it says, and the brother shall deliver up the brother unto death, and the father the child, and the child shall raise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. And you shall be hated by all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth till the end shall be saved. Alright, so it says brother against brother. I see it. Shall be delivered up to death. It says the father, the child shall raise up against the parents and shall cause them to be put to death. I'm seeing a lot of conflict within a lot of communities. We get into a point as people, in my community, that we can't stand each other. I can't fathom or get my mind around that. So like we're seeing a lot of hatred in our community from each other. It's unfortunate. It is very, very unfortunate that we're seeing and that we were turned against each other the way we were turned against each other. When the struggle for a black man, black woman struggles just like the black man, but in a different realm, and the black man struggles as well. But not just the black man, but it could be Latin man, white man, etc. But I'm speaking right now of my own community and what I'm seeing in regards to the divided of house. The house is divided. And just like that scripture said, what it's the marker of? It's the marker of the second coming. That's what it's a marker of. And it says, you should be hated by all men for my name's sake. Why? A person who's with Christ should be hated for his name's sake? Because, we see it now. And where I'm at, a lot of people don't want to hear about Christ because they're claiming it's a white man's religion. If you dig a little bit beneath the surface, you see it's not a white man's religion. It's been around even before that, Christ had to go hide in Egypt, don't forget that, They were in the land of Cush. A lot of this stuff talked about Ethiopia. A lot of the Old Testament was found in Ethiopia. So this is not necessarily a white man's religion. It's not, How could, during that age, Christ hid in Egypt? That's when Egypt were darker colored people. Now, if he was European, like they try to make the image out to be, he never would have been hidden. He couldn't hide. But back then, the Egyptians were darker complexion. So, this is a very sad time for me to see all this stuff going on. But it's a time in a sense to rejoice too, because the time for Christ draws near. He's coming. But yeah, like I say, I've never seen the black community as separated as they are today. I've never seen it. But there's a form of Christ that's there, Christ has entered. Christ has divided the home, It always says, when God comes, he'll start with his sanctuary. Start the cleansing in his sanctuary. And that's what's going on. He's cleaning his sanctuary. And it's unfortunate, even from what I'm seeing and from families and how they're divided and up at each other's throat for various reasons. Son against father, father against son, brother against brother. What I'm seeing is very, very, very sad. But thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. And trust in God. He'll get you through it. Don't forget to hit that like button. Take it easy.